Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh Snipes, and today we're going to be doing another video, learning some new things. And today we're going to be learning how to impact trick. Now, before I get on with the video, I'm going to do what I always do, and just thank you guys so much for all the support. We just passed 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I actually just got my YouTube partnership back, so we're making that YouTube money. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, thank you guys so much for the support. It really means a lot, and the growth is unreal. If you guys want to be able to talk to me more, though, make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm going to leave a link down in the description, and I'm also going to post it right here just so you guys can see it and just so you guys can connect with me. Anyways, let's start off with the video and learn how to do impact tricking. Now, before I want to start off the video, I want to go over the ranked map pool that I found them that you can actually impact trick on. That's going to be Bank, Clubhouse, Cafe, Consulate, Chalet, Border, Villa, Theme Park, and Fortress. I did the ranked map pool. I went through all the maps, and the ones that aren't on here are Oregon, Coastline, Skyscraper, and Hereford. I might have just missed one, so that's very possible. So if you guys know of one, let me know down in the comments down below. Moving on, you guys are going to see, so I shot out above this wall right here, and you can see this gap in between that and the ceiling. What you want to do is you want to throw an impact at the ceiling pretty much on the other side, and when you throw your impact, it's going to be able to get a gadget that is in the middle of that wall. If it's at the bottom of the wall, you will not be able to get it. That's why Hibana charges don't get stopped if they're at the bottom, but if it's a thermite charge, it's going to get hit either way. But I just want to go over all the different spots. I'm not going to go and show you guys on every single map like that, but I want to go over all the spots with you guys, and I'm also going to go over how to impact trick hatches. So for the first map I'm going to be starting off is on Clubhouse. Actually, all of the walls downstairs in the basement defense are actually able to be impact tricked, and I think that was probably intentional by design. And so a lot of times people will place mirrors on these walls and people will place rotation holes, or people will reinforce them entirely and put a bandit or something like that on them. But if those bandits get EMP'd and you have a mirror on it, you want to keep that mirror alive. Now, impact tricking is the way to do this, and I'm just going to shotgun holes above. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to impact trick a hatch. So basically what impact and trick a hatch is think of if a thermite puts his charge on the hatch, or if Hibana puts her pellets on the hatch, you want to be able to throw an impact grenade at the hatch or around the hatch to get rid of those charges pretty much. So what you want to do is you want to find somewhere where you can basically throw it just enough so it's high, a little high above the hatch, and so that it actually hits something. And so that way, think of like you throwing it directly on the hatch. It's like right next to it. So basically I'm opening holes right next to it, and this is honestly where you see impact tricking on hatches used a lot, because this is one of the hatches where it's really important to hold this hatch, especially in any way you can. So making sure to hold this hatch is probably going to help your team out a lot with his basement defense. So again, I'm going to throw a smoke grenade there just so you guys can actually see it. So now what you're going to see here is me actually go up to these holes that I created with my shotgun. You're going to be seeing where I'm aiming, and this is above the hatch what I'm going to throw my impact at. So you know that it's going to hit that smoke grenade that you guys saw me place earlier. And basically you saw the smoke grenade get destroyed, and that's basically the gist of it. It's not that hard. It's just kind of hard to find spots where you can actually throw your impact grenades, but just find anything that's pretty much solid that you can throw your nade at through the floor, and you guys will get it A-okay. Now, a lot of this video is honestly just me running around trying to find these holes that you guys are seeing me open up here, trying to just find any way to throw an impact above the reinforcement that you might have, and there you'll probably have a mirror or something that you have on the wall that you want to keep safe, and you're going to see on the top stairs too, and ranked you might have a mirror here. But also another spot that people take is garage, and I didn't really realize that you could actually impact trick garage, and so you're going to probably see me here kind of trying to test it out, and I literally was running around just trying to find different things to impact trick. And if you throw it, there's a little tiny gap in between the reinforcement and that top cover right there. That was really interesting. So you guys can actually impact trick that garage. So I was actually running around on Cafe, and I didn't know if you could impact trick this spot initially, because there is like a wooden barricade that's a lot closer to the wall than it was on the garage on Clubhouse, but I decided I'd try anyways. And there is a very, very, very fine line between the roof and that little thing you guys saw there, and you can do it. It's not really that reliable, I don't think, especially in the heat of the moment. And this wall actually has the same thing, but honestly, if you guys are trying to impact trick, you could practice this and probably get it down. I'm sure there's probably like a preset spot that you could do this every single time perfectly, but I haven't been able to find it, and I didn't really run around too much trying to find it. But you're gonna see me here. I try to impact it, and I can't. It's really, really small. So But it's really important that when you guys are impact tricking, that you kind of look for opportunities for like these, where I tried it didn't really happen, it didn't work. I'm sure it could work, but I tried it, and you kind of get an idea of what you can and can't do with impact tricking for yourself and how you play. You definitely couldn't do these tiny ones in the heat of the moment, but if you were, say, back on Clubhouse, you could do that in the heat of the moment because it overhangs just enough. And the rest downstairs, I believe all the walls on the second floor of Cafe actually are impact trickable, and so that's because they have this little tiny gap, and they usually have a ceiling on the other side. And I'm not going to try to bore you guys. I think all the walls on Cafe are impact tricked, or you can do impact tricking on them. It's just more finding where people will push from on the different sites. And I try to do that on this. I didn't go through every single wall that could possibly be impact tricked, because not every single wall is on the site or close to the site where you would want to impact trick. So, but these ones all have the same thing going, where it has this little overhang, and you can actually do this. You can actually shoot. If you get on the fridge that was in there, you can actually shoot in between it. But it's a pretty hard shot, and it's a pretty hard impact. So again, just be wary of that, and maybe practice it if you really want to learn how to do it. And moving on to border, I actually found that there wasn't too many places to impact trick really, and I was kind of surprised because I've played on border a lot, so I kind of expected to find a lot more once I was looking for them. But this was one of the few spots that I could actually find you could impact trick, and it's the only one I'm going to end up showing you guys because the other two are kind of unreliable. But if you wanted to try, there is pieces in Office that you can try to impact trick. It's just really, really tricky to do. But this is probably the only spot in border that I actually found that you can impact trick. And you basically just want to throw it off that little arch you see kind of outside. You can do this with a C4, and you can do this in impact either way. But you just want to be able to throw it basically on the other side of the wall. And we're going to be moving on to theme park, and I actually was running around. There is no place upstairs that you can impact trick. The ceiling and the floor are a little too close together, so there's no real gap, but actually all of the walls downstairs have that really good gap that you can use for impact tricking. And this is really the only site that you'll see get played on theme park. Not many people play Gargoyle, if at all. I don't think I've seen it ever since it first came out. But you could, I guess, any wall on the bottom floor, you can impact trick. I don't know where else you would do this besides that site in Drug Lab, but it's a pretty useful thing to have, especially because some people usually run Hibana or Thermite, so it's really good to have, especially if you're not running a bandit on your team. Now, Bank is probably one of the maps that I feel like impact tricking is almost necessary, especially if you're holding the Teller's Archives, which is the first floor defense, or if you're holding upstairs in the CEO office. I really feel like impact tricking really is just kind of the bread and butter of this site, and it's kind of how you keep people out. You might have a bandit kind of use your first thing that you want to use, but you're going to end up needing impacts because they're going to end up running a Thatcher and be able to get in. And if you impact trick, you can actually stop them from either giving a really high hole that's like a crouch or standing hole, or you can at least just stop the Thermite from placing his charge at all. And here you guys are going to see that I actually wanted to show you guys a really quick spot, and this is not for impact tricking at all. This is just a little peek spot. If you stay on top of the bomb, you can aim actually over the reinforcement and into the doorway. Now, you might not always have someone standing right there, but it's a good little peek that I always do sort of towards the beginning of the round, just to see if I can get lucky. It's a pretty hard shot for someone else to hit you on, because it's just your head, but you just want to make sure that when you're peeking that you're paying attention. Now, moving to the first floor of Bank, this Teller's Archive is very standard hold to have, and I actually didn't realize this until I started doing all this stuff, but there's actually an impact trick that you can do on this wall. I don't think I've ever had anyone use it before. It's not very easy to hit. It kind of has the bar that we had on previous maps, where it kind of goes over, but you're going to see me just opening up all these holes to impact trick on and just kind of show you guys where they are. But if you want to try getting that wall that you guys just saw over on the open area side, that kind of office side, that big wall, you guys are going to have to practice and practice and practice that, because it's pretty hard to hit, but I was able to hit it when I did it my second time, I think, so it probably can't be too hard. Moving on to Fortress, I'm going to speed this video up just so that I can get this video done, and so that way you guys don't have to sit through like a couple more minutes of footage, but I think you get the gist of it. This wall right here isn't impact trickable, but the other ones on that site are, and running around, I found that there's a lot of sites where some of them are and some of them aren't, And I think you'll have an idea because some of the walls look huge. Like these ones don't look as tall, but the ones that were in the other site looked really, really tall. And so it's really important that you basically kind of get the gist of where you can impact trick and where you can't impact trick, just so you kind of remember. And that this again, down in kitchen, you can impact trick those two walls inside the actual like oven room, but you can't impact inside like sort of kitchen cafeteria, whatever the actual call out is for that. But again, you just run around when you guys are doing this, trying to find what you are comfortable with the most. And I think that you guys will have a lot easier time when you're trying to run through all of this and trying to find the different spots that you want to impact trick and try to impact trick. Moving on, we have Villa, and Villa is actually one of the weirdest maps to watch on Pro League because I think literally every single wall on this map can be impact trick, which means that anytime someone puts a thermite charge down, anytime someone puts a bonnet charges down, you could lose that utility if you're not paying attention. Anytime you see holes above a wall like you see me putting here, those are probably going to be impacted, and that means that you're going to lose that utility, whatever it might be. But I did find like literally every single wall on Villa is impact trickable, and I'm not going to try to go through every single wall, but I mean, you see me kind of just running around at 2x speed just trying to find every single wall. And now we're going to move on to Consulate, and you guys are going to probably see a really cool tip at the end of this map, but you're going to watch me run around. There isn't too many places you can impact trick that are kind of useful, because not too many. This map doesn't usually have too many hard breaches on the top floor of it, but if you put a mirror on any of these walls you're seeing me point at, you can actually impact trick that, and you're going to see this really cool spot that you guys can actually get up onto the fridge right here, and you're going to see me sort of set this up. So you want a reinforcement on the wall. You can put a mirror here. A lot of times people will run mirrors in admin, which is a pretty useful thing to have, and you want to get on top of this fridge, and you can actually aim over it at the windows and be able to use whatever gun you have and just lay down behind it for cover. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next video I plan on doing is how to play support. So make sure to subscribe to watch and be notified when that video comes out. Hit the bell icon because YouTube is broken. But seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hopefully, we can just keep growing the channel, and hopefully I get to see you guys in the next video. Anyways, guys, it's going to be Josh Snipes signing off.